Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, the #1 Kill Team channel on the internet, unless you are aware of any other Kill Team channel at all. Hi, how's it going today? I want to talk to you about the essence of Warhammer 40k, the core of the entire universe. Well, it's the Imperium, I guess, and second to the Imperium, it's the Chaos. But past those, right, past those, that's kind of an internal thing. When you think about the external factors of Warhammer 40,000, the thing you have to accept that is truly, relatively, all things considered, unique to 40k is the warp. It's that thing that is truly an external force that ultimately corrupts the Imperium. And we don't have it in the game anymore, and that's really weird, and that's right, yes, today I want to talk about the demons. Now, here we have Be'lakor. He's a bit of banger of a model, I'm not going to lie. Easily one of my favourite Chaos models in the game, whether you're talking about 40k or Age of Sigmar. We're not going to ignore Age of Sigmar now that I've mentioned that word. This is purely 40k. And of course, I want to think demons are a core factor within the world, the universe of 40k. Whether you like them or not, you don't have to, of course. In the same way that many people are Space Marines only, but they hate Chaos. They want to do all loyalists. Or some people are Xenos only, blah, blah, blah. I think that however you view Warhammer, demons are mandatory when you view the world. I mean, what's one of the best ways to sell Warhammer 40k to someone? To be able to travel faster than light, as almost all sci-fi fantasy universes must be able to do. In Warhammer 40,000, we travel through hell, and sometimes we arrive before we left, or we arrive a bajillion years after we left, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Nice. Demons are, of course, inherent to that, as they are what live in that hell that you have to travel through the warp. And then we talk about Kill Team, and we don't have demons. It's looking at how GW currently operates, it's not as surprising that we don't yet have demons as we didn't have Tyranids. Not having Tyranids for 4 years was insane. But the fact that we don't have demons is still so bizarre, even when you look at what, in a meta sense, GW seems to be wanting to ignore the fact that they have demon models. Let's not think too much about that, I suppose. But then we have Be'lakor, and we have the 40k army, which is an index, so probably getting scrapped, let's be honest, in 11th edition. But again, we're not talking about that. And you've got to think, Be'lakor is kind of the king of the demons, in essence. He is your centerpiece model, even a step above the greater demons, I would argue. And if you look at the index demons, you have a bunch of ways of running them, but their core thing, as we all know, is kind of warp rifts, right? It's you can jump down and you get to deep strike very close to the enemy, because it's simulating the idea that warp rifts are popping up all over the shop because they're demons and they're breaking reality. Love it. Very cool. So what's a warp rift? It's some sort of teleport, isn't it? Ultimately, you know what? We should have demons in Kill Team, right? It is, to my mind, actually, even though it wouldn't be as popular, but it is more fundamental to the world of Warhammer than Tyranids, right? You could have 40k without Tyranids. Everything is still the same. You cannot have 40k without demons. The setting fundamentally changes. We do not have demons in Kill Team. They should be teleporting in. Cool. I'm all for it. Be'lakor's a banger of a model. And then I've posited the notion that if you were to get more demons, I don't think we're going to get resculpts of troops. Okay, I think GW is happy to let them suck and continue to suck. Fine. So what are we getting instead? I reckon we might get something like, I'm not a super lore nerd on this, but so when I say X, feel free to replace that with Y, okay? But I'm thinking we need some sort of Sons of Be'lakor, or Herald of Be'lakor. That's a better word, isn't it? They love the word herald. Or Ruinous Shadows, something like that, right? And so it's similar to Be'lakor in that it's going to be a neutral faction. It can go into any demon army or any chaos army. It will basically be his mini hymns. There you go. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? And that would be a perfect kill team because they can all be kind of mutated in different ways and do their own thing. But then when you think about what should they do mechanically, well, similar to 40k, we looked at 40k, we look at warp rifts. And that's when it occurred to me that we already have demons in kill team. Not thematically, and that's what actually matters to be clear, but mechanically, if you want to proxy what I think is genuinely the way demons should be played, Mandrakes. There you go. Mandrakes are literally, mechanically, how demons should be played and represented in kill team. So, if you're then thinking, okay, if I'm honest, Mandrakes already look a little bit demonic, don't they? But you could very easily swap these Mandrake models for some cool conversion-y thing that looks like, you know, the Shadows of Be'lakor. And mechanically, they are exactly what you want. They are able to teleport, which is your warp rifts. They are able to do some sort of bizarre, demonic kind of chaos energy ranged attack. So it's not just a standard bullet. It's a weird, funky thing, which of course is how all their, is it called soul burn? I can't really recall, works when you're shooting. And then they also have just weird, funky rules, which again is all based around them being basically incorporeal beings. So I finally got to the point, but there is an additional note, which is, look, I'm a huge fan of proxies. I enjoy proxies. I enjoy the idea of conversions. You know, you might be aware, I don't like painting, but I love hobby and I love kit bashing and conversions, which is why we've got to talk about Mandrakes. Because if you're like, Andy, I get what you're saying. I also think demons are fundamental to 40k and I want to represent them on the tabletop of Kill Team, obviously. Awesome. Well done, my man. Me too. Love to hear it. However, Mandrakes are, I would argue, one of the most difficult teams to proxy. And the reason for this is that, as we all know this, right? If you look at the models, yeah, these guys here, you've got 4 dudes that are generics, and then you have 5 dudes that are specialists. Cool, cool, cool. Love to hear it. Unfortunately, the main thing that makes these guys stand out from these guys is that these guys have a top knot. And I know that some people might think that's a joke. It isn't. That is the difference. And of course, when you are proxying, the absolute number one key thing you have to keep in mind is distinctability, differentiation ability. Mandrakes are really, really similar to each other. So you might think when you're doing your proxies, oh, well, I'm going to copy that model, that specialist, and be very just true to form and try to make it look exactly like that. But I'm using a bloodletter model instead of a Mandrake model and I'm just swapping the arms. You could do that. But in a bizarre twist of fate, that then kind of wouldn't pass muster to be a valid proxy when you're kit bashing it yourself. When you're using the official Mandrake team, you can say they're the official models. Sorry, you got to figure it out. When you're doing it yourself, you have to go above and beyond what the team gives you. So, best way to do this is kind of accentuate everything. Like, if the guy's special ability is he has a giant sword, give him an even bigger sword. If the guy's special ability is he's got like the more powerful ranged attack, give him an even bigger gun. And then, and this is absolute key here, color. If you are able to color them differently, definitely should. So, for example, saying the one that is entirely head to toe in red, that's X. The guy that's completely covered in yellow, that's Y, in addition to them having the kind of exaggerated war gear. There you go. Also, absolute random aside, I'm currently, right now on the table, clipping out a new Mandrake team. I want to start playing them a lot more for Kill Team, for my own fun and enjoyment. I don't think they have... Drop a message, sorry. If you can think of a way that Mandrakes can beat Raveners, please tell me, because I don't know. I can't see that happening, but not the point. Whatever. That's a side note. That's a tangent. But Mandrakes, very cool models with a few tweaks to be Night Elves from World of Warcraft. What do you think? Anyway, right. Demons in Kill Team, it's the Mandrake team. They are already mechanically exactly what demons should be. All you have to do is to make them aesthetically what demons should be.